Good morning, FYI family. Good morning to each and every one of you. Folks, we trust that you are good. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, you've had a great weekend where we've had it this side, and you're off to a fantastic start this Monday, the 11th day of November. We're almost halfway through, believe it or not. Yep, by then we get down to Thursday. Friday, we are right there, smack dab in the middle of the month. Believe it or not, let me just double check that. We're in November, folks. Got a huge calendar here. Yeah, Friday. Friday is mid-month. Friday is the 15th of November, already smack dab in the middle of the month. Then we just start this month. Folks. What's going on? What's happening? Why are y'all moving things along so quickly, swiftly? But we're happy to have all of you on the live this morning. Of course, joining us from the many places you guys are joining us from. And because you all join us from so many places outside of Guyana, Sudhari and Palm Halls, we get a chance to call ourselves an international program because we receive from the far-flung corners of the earth, thanks to you fast people. You know, you all want to know what's going on back on the day and the hour I put this country behind me. Y'all try that. Want to go in on at 592? Had enough of them like gone. Good to see Paul May Wilson on the live this morning, and Brennan Thompson on the live as well. And I see we got Finel Innes and Leslyn Hamilton. Good to have you on the live, Leslyn. Jilly G, Denise, Lennox, Rohan Basandram. Those of you who peeping at us from someplace, great to have you on with us this morning. You're at work, you're in the 592, you're at work, you can't really watch full. You know, you can't really watch full, so you do a little peep thing. Neville Ford, I hope that's now you, Neville. Right. The Honorable OMT McDonald. Yeah, gotta get a lot of money in the bank. See, when you got even bother with the first, second, third name, you just go straight to title. That means something, right? That means something. You got a little bit of gentry, Gentry, I think is the word. You know, you have that ilk and silk. The Honorable OMT McDonald, that's a person influence, you know. I wish you could do that. I am brave enough. S.A. Duncan. Brennan Thompson. What's the middle name there? If you have to put all of your first letters there, you know. Bernie Miller. What would you have? Probably got 10 letters there. BMTQLRS. Miller. Folks, good morning. It's a light start at our end. And you see, the closer we get to Christmas, the less antagonistic. The less, you know, you go in this season of goodwill and peace to all men. You pack away the knives. It's January, you got to worry about we. January morning, you got to worry with us. You know? Then it's the time you got to worry. But it doesn't mean we put up the gloves, you know, fully. All now we're supposed to be doing a lot of political work on the ground. Yeah, a lot of people talking about political work, but I ain't. Jolly Anderson, a lot of folks talking, you know. They say acceleration is not always the same as progress. Right? You get from point A to B, but have you really moved, you know? You pick them up in your clean spirit this morning. Have you really moved? Oh, so much we got to get to this morning. Lots happened over the weekend. Oh, it's calamity country. Lots happened over the weekend. Carnage on our roads, on our waterways, violence against women, girls, boys. You know, a lot happening. You see, a lot of road building. I'll give them that. The quality is something different. Can't see them building road. Can't see them capping. Right? Capping a lot of roads. You know elections in the air. Cap in. Margaret Nelson, happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day. Saw it on the calendar last evening, Veterans Day. Said, I'm ready. Brent Mentor and Dolly Anderson, Nicola Corbin, Littell Preck. Good to have all of you. All 300 of you. All 300. You need a whole set of people, you know. You got a couple of folks that you can work with. Jesus, my Lord. Jesus, my Lord. You got a couple. The problem is when you have a couple. No, Lemon's even scraping one good person. You got 300 people. Let me make one. Right? Kevin still life says some weary. You know? Weary nonsense. Kevin, but let me drink this little coffee. let me drink this little coffee by Kevin. Drink this little coffee. Welcome to Monday, folks. How have you been? I did a couple laps in the park on Saturday. You know, a little bit of running, a little bit of walking, a little bit of jogging. I don't make it sound too official. A little bit of jogging, a little bit of walking. I've gotten at 5 laps. I plan to go out back on Sunday, but you know, who sang that song? My mind's telling me yes, but my body. Who sang? Who sang? Who sang that? The body is telling me no. I had a lazy weekend. My wife pulled me out of the house. Right? My wife pulled me out of the house. I just wanted to do nothing. Just you ever get that zone? I mean nothing. I mean like I can do some reading as on the bed, as on the couch. Right? We watched an awesome movie over the weekend. Yeah, that's it. Don't carry me nowhere, man. I want me to. Good morning, folks. How was your weekend? Win for another week. Right? Facebook user says at the gym for me and you. Is that Naomi? Facebook user. Right? I know Naomi out there finish gym, you know. Yeah, I got a couple pounds to get off. I don't like the way my belly looks. You gotta tell me. But some people don't even allow you. You know, the little coaches here. They know kind of mental state you in. Look how you get fat. Look how your belly getting big. Lord. They don't know I'm holding on here, you know, barely tethered. Look how your belly getting. Brennan, you ever meet people like that? Brennan must be in tip-top shape, like Naomi. Look how you're getting fat, man. People don't know the older you get, your body is metabolizing, you know. My aunt used to warn us. I remember listening to her when I was younger, you know. When they said, I don't eat this and I don't eat that and I don't eat it. I said, yeah, some old people, man. Yeah, like the other time. Oh, alas. Alas, folks. Your body not metabolizing. She only explained that to me. When you get to a certain age, your body not metabolizing the thing as it used to. You know, you can't do anything. No, can't. Something's got to pass. You know, something's got to pass, folks. Brennan, some people don't know what kind of mental state you're in. You know, you could do it. That's a powerful word. You know, how are you, Sharon? Hope you're good, man. Good job with what y'all doing. No, you barely get him. Folks, if you don't know yourself, right? If you don't know yourself in this country here, if you don't know yourself, can't eat your dinner. Right? Can't eat your dinner. Dolly Anderson, Facebook user. Right? Yeah. That's the other thing. I was seeing some comments, all the comments on Facebook. And this is doing it again. This is not us. This is the software that's bringing in the comments. Right? When you get too finest, the truck knock you. We're different in this country, you know. When you get too thin, there's a truck knock you. Right? All right, folks, good morning and welcome officially. I think I'm supposed to say that. Welcome officially. Good to have all of you on the live this morning. Grateful to have all of you with us. Trust that you guys have had a good week. Valencia, you know, come girl. Better late than never. Good to have all of you on the live. Trying to find myself here, this little black tea. You know. Good to have all of you with us this morning. We got a couple of things to run by you. A couple. Sabrina Blue, good to see you. Luan Hall, good to have Luan here as well. Straight Life, good to have you too. Helen Collins, good to have Helen on live. Folks, let me give you all this bit of information very early. Tomorrow I've decided I'm not going to be on. I'm going to go and support my wife and her family. My wife is burying her cousin tomorrow, and I'm going to take the entire day and I'm going to go and support them. She is heading up to Bobis today, but I'm going to go tomorrow because I don't want not to have a program tonight. So I'm going to go tomorrow, but I'm going to take the entire day. I'm just giving you guys a little heads up because I don't want to be having to rush down to get the programs done tomorrow. So if you guys would allow me, I would be happy to have the day off tomorrow, right? That is what we're going to be focused on, right? That is what we're going to be focused on tomorrow. And my wife, like most Pobicians, they live very close. We have such different families. They live very, very close. And so I'm going to do that tomorrow. My wife, where her cousin lives, is just a road separating them. Little street, little back street. So the houses face each other. When the cousin come out in the morning, hi, hello, how you all doing? They talk across the verandas, right? Behind the cousin's house is their church. Go figure. So everything in less than a square mile. Behind my wife's home, her aunt lives. So the aunt lives behind them. The cousin lives in front of them, and they got aunts and cousins next door and at the side. And, you know, God don't give you more than you could bear. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So they grow and live like that. And so this death is really, and at 37 years old, this young man was sick for a couple of days. My wife's mother was going to the hospital to get something done. She was going to the hospital. Passed through the yard. He was at the door. He wasn't sick like on the bed and bedridden and all that. He was at the door standing up. She's passing through the yard. She said, tell Auntie I'm heading off to the hospital to come back in a couple of minutes. He said, sure. And he went inside, told the aunt. He said, I'm going to lie down a little bit. And that's it. 37 years old. He's standing at the door. She's passing out. She going to the hospital. Texture pressure or something. You know, it's big people. So coming back just now, tell cousin Julie heading out for 2 minutes. Passing through the yard. He said, sure. Head inside, tell Auntie Julie. Say, I'm gonna lie down for 2 minutes. And that's it. 37 years old. 37 years old. So we're gonna go and lay him to rest tomorrow. lay him to rest. Yeah. He was a God-fearing man, so I have no doubt to be absent from the body, to be present with the Lord. Yeah, thoughts and prayers with his family, their entire family. As we're talking about that, look what's happening in Cuba. Remember, we've been telling you Cuba's been having some nationwide blackouts. Well, they had an earthquake overnight. You know, just when you think you can't take nothing more, you saw houses caved in, the ground open, some houses gone down. It's the last days, you know. We better live the straight and narrow. Got up this morning, put my feet out the bed. I said, Lord, right? Thank you. I don't. A lot of people didn't get up. You know, they're up, but in dire straits. Still got the ground beneath my feet. So this earthquake in Cuba measured 6.8 magnitude. And I noticed now they don't say on the Richter scale. What do they measure earthquakes now on this? Is there a new measuring, a new way to measure? Back in the day, you used to say measured on the Richter scale. Now just a magnitude earthquake. Left you like that. 6.8. That's a good shake you had there. Significant shaking, as a matter of fact. They say in Santiago de Cuba and nearby areas, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. So this was like at the focal point area. Santiago de Cuba. They said the earthquake centered near Bartolomeu Masso. Right? Bartolomeu Masso. Hope I'm getting it a little correct. The buildings shook violently, with residents describing it as one of the strongest quakes they've ever felt. So they're dealing with that this morning. How did you wake up? How did you wake up? So our thoughts and our prayers with our Cuban brothers and sisters who are waking up to this morning and trying to put their lives back together, keep their lives together. Our thoughts and prayers with our Cuban brothers and sisters on this front. Good folks, and while we're looking at that, remember they're helping us, I think, right now in the power sector, in the sugar industry. We got some Cubans here who are here lending their expertise. They're battling blackouts home, nationwide, quite like here too. You know, thankful for them, and our thoughts and prayers with the entire country. 6.8 magnitude earthquake. 6.8. So you're watching that. I wish I was seeing these names on Facebook. All right, let me see if I can go someplace else. I want to see who you're talking to. Get these names and so on. So pray for them, folks. Good people of faith. Good people of faith. Pray for them. Please and thank you. Pray for them. Gwyneth Anderson, I see you there. I have to switch over to Facebook proper to see them. Jacqueline Fordyce, Patricia Sana, Kurt Heideken, Kamal Passad. Good morning to you, Kamal, former vice chair. Is it former now officially? Former vice chair, Region 7. Good to have you. Naomi Drucker is on with us. Marvin Garraway, Gwyneth Anderson, Godfrey Montaigne. Good to have all of you. Marvin, Brendan, all the other folks. Gail Alicock. Good to have all of you on the live this morning. Yeah, that's what we're saying there, folks. Cuba days, and we come close to home. You know, I'm not doing this little black tea. Doing this little black tea. Put something hot in the stomach. Put, you know, as we see it here. Third audit, only in Guyana. Only in Guyana. You know, I thought had something named due diligence. I thought so. You had something named due diligence. Apparently not. So some companies came together, consortium, and did the last audit of, I think, $7 billion, ExxonMobil. We have to check because we have to give them back monies in some instances where they say they spend money to help develop the sector on our behalf. We got to give them back. So we got to check the receipts and ensure they spent what they said they spent and what they said they spent it on. So they did this last audit and they've been given a third audit, even though the second audit has not been released, has not even been completed. It's part of what we're hearing. Right? So that audit is still incomplete, but the same companies, or at least some of them, have been given this audit, this third audit. But what's interesting here is not that even the second audit is not completed or even released, but one of the companies who is part of this consortium seemed to have lost its certification as an auditing firm even before the last audit, the second audit. Even before that. Even before that. It's one or two of them. So the report says, so they're auditing this third audit. It's not in this country, Right? Disqualified, uncertified. You don't matter with the man. You come through. Jeff, do what's happening here? What's happening here? So the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Guyana apparently, allegedly, has suspended the certifications of two auditors. This is one Azar Hanif of Eclipsar Financial and George Vaughn of SFAI Guyana, barring them from issuing statutory audit opinions under the law. Under the law. So here's where we are. Here is where we are. It's like a debarred lawyer. Government say, oh, well, you can be the lawyer there on these bogus fraud cases. You can be the lawyer. These things matter. They matter. How could they not have known? That's why I said due diligence. Come on now, folks. Due diligence. You gotta do the work. You just take people at face value. That's how a lot of people getting con, Marlon Thomas owning Guyana. Yolanda, Sion, Gonzalez. Sion says, sure, in the 592, what you fret yourself about? Glenford God, in the 592. And then boys can come and say, transparency, accountability, good governance. Or you better check yourselves and come again. Donna Daly, Waveney Doris, they gotta come better, do better. They call it, I think in law, the term is constructive knowledge. You're in a position to know. But you don't care to know. Right? Because knowing, you got to now say, well, yeah, I can't come on board. So a term, I want to see the early bird. Right? When they find out, y'all come and do this thing here. Y'all come and do this thing here. Right? Gail Alicock, apparently her grandchildren celebrating their birthday. Twin. Congrats, Gail, to the twins. This country not easy, That's why I want all This country not easy. We gotta stay on the straight and narrow. And they will come and tell us everything. Oh, it's only last year they get the bar, man. It's not long. There's like some expired tablets. It's only last month, the thing, man. You can still drink this orange juice here. It's only last month, it's expired. Right? It's fully gone yet. It's only a week it expired. Come on, you can still take it. And again, I say, we're not asking the hard enough questions at these press conferences. We're not. Don't let me fool myself. We're not asking the hard enough questions. We're allowing Jagyo to talk an hour and a half. AFC press conference, PNCR press conference. Well, you can talk about the PNCR, the conference they had over the weekend. Now's the next thing gonna feature high. The conference of the PNCR over the weekend. So a lot of folks gathered. They said had folks from all of the regions in Guyana. And this was the General Council meeting with members from all 10 administrative regions. Wow. Now the sea of people there at Congress Place. You know, good. Love it. You know, are we mobilizing? So we got to retake government. Reading their statement. We got to retake government. Now on this issue, we asked it last week, we asked it again. Sugar Dad, what's the mistake? We asked it last week and again we're asking it this week. Yesterday, Sabuk News had as its lead story the woes of the Albion Sugar Estate. The woes. The sugar industry is a very volatile, fragile. And when you add incompetence, nepotism, friends, family, and favorites to that mix, toxic. Right? So they're telling us since 2020 they hired 1,100 workers. But like nothing at this factory, billions of dollars later, it making no sense. Production, serious production, inefficiencies, operational issues. This ain't working, that ain't working, the next ain't working. And all that calling into question the stability and the effectiveness of the investments we continue to make in the industry. So you got a big workforce, right, that is expanded, yet we see the estates, they had promised to open 3 sugar estates in the first term. Yeah, go ahead. We hold y'all back. Go right ahead. We're not holding you back. The estates and the industry as a whole, they are facing formidable challenges. Equipment breaking down. Poor cane quality according to them. Inefficient processing. And then on top of that, they said management issues. The high production costs too. All of that. The high production costs. Look, story. Look how I can show you as the charity we running. Right? Charity we running here. We're talking about Albion. Albion produces a pound of sugar at 131. Right? Somebody do the maths to me quick. You don't know we maths don't always maths. $1.31 US dollars, right? This is US dollars. $131 a pound for sugar. That's the production cost. Right? Production cost. Globally, sugar is being produced at 35 cents. So when we produce sugar at $1.31 US cents, it's like we giving away. That's why I told you last week. Guyanese should be able to walk into a shop and just pick up a pound of sugar and just how much ever they need. Because there's a charity we run in. Which business could produce sugar at $1.31 per pound and you sell it for 35 cents? Make it make sense. Jagdish say, I can do it. Jagdish say, I can show y'all. I can show you. These are the same people that brought sugar to where it is. We looking at. We are looking on. So they rehired 1,100 persons to produce sugar at $1.31 and selling it for 35 cents. Right? Selling it for 35 cents. We should be giving away sugar for free. Right? At this point in our history in the industry, buy a pound, get a pound free. No, just free. Just go and walk in the supermarket. Pay in the supermarket and distribute to our free. Any supermarket, just pick up sugar. Pick up sugar. And that's why yesterday in a post I said on Facebook, at least the coalition was honest with the people of this country. It's the people that keep fooling people and say, we're going to revitalize the sugar industry. We're going to make sugar great again. It's like saying we can make cotton. Do you know at one point in our history, what was I reading? Was it McGowan? I think I was reading Dr. Winston, Professor Emeritus Winston McGowan Guyanese. And learned that Guyana at one point, this is like many moons ago, was the #1 producer in the world of cotton. Way back in the day, before we shipped heavily on cane and so on. But make cotton great again, too. As yet it. Make cotton great again. Right? So this is something what's happening there, folks. Right? So the charity, Gaisuko charity, that's what's happening there. You know, we love our brothers and sisters in the industry, but part of what the commentators have been saying, diversification, placing a heavy emphasis on other industries. We're in some real trouble, you know. This is one of the things that they banked on. Somehow they were going to turn around sugar. They're fun dream, you know. Judging going in this direction. Irfan somehow think because he turned president, right, everything will just walk right. Because Jagdio make him president, everything will walk right. Another thing I was looking at over the weekend, I told you I just wanted to do a little reading over the weekend. I was going back through budgets from 2020 to now. That's exciting for me. I said I had a good weekend. Boxing through those budgets. And one of the other things that they put a lot of emphasis on, right, is the BPOs. You know, these offshore call centers. A lot of emphasis on those. They abuse out the coalition for the one in Linden Oh, we gonna make it great again. Well, it just changed owners and downsized. It just changed owners and downsized. Two from Georgetown here closed down within the last 2 or 3 months. So the one in Linden downsized. Two from Georgetown. One of them alone got about 400 persons on his payroll. The one in Linden downsized. Two closed down. And then we talked last week, y'all remember, about Demerara Bakery, owned by the finance, I think it is. They closed, they winding up operation on the East Bank. In this economy that's booming. So all of that. Intel, I think, was one, and Equity is the other BPO that closed. Yeah. Nice time. I was looking at that. Because when I was entering, I said, let me see what they've been talking about. The job market, the labor market, their forecasting and so on. Oh Lord, lots of fluffy words, fluffy fancy words. Oh, the amount of jobs produced here, jobs. They're going to do this, and jobs and jobs. And everybody like Demerara Bakery, high cost of doing business. High cost of doing business. So when I read yesterday, Starbucks News saying red flag on Albion. If Albion goes under, look, let me tell you something. If they gotta pump 300 billion to prevent that from happening, right? Before APNU has talking points, before AFC got talk, but they would do that. They would sink all that money for the pretense that it's doing well. They would sink it for the pretense that it's doing well. Focus on other sectors that are more stable. Oh, the bills out. I see somebody say bring back Granger. The bills out Granger, but the cook up. Planting chip factory. Planting chip factory. Yep. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, huh? Huh? So that's what's happening here. Albion at a standstill. Intractable problems. Intractable problems. And then they bring a man who got no clue but cane. I'm certain, you see, Chung, what's his name? Paul Chung. Paul Chung probably is a nice fella. I have no doubt. Probably is a family man. I have no doubt. Probably got kids who thinks, he's a superhero. I have no doubts. But at this critical point in the history, the juncture that Kaisuku is at, to put a man now who got to come and learn on the job, learn sugar on the job. You think he can do better than CS? You think he can do better than Thunderbolt? So we got a lot, but I'm giving you guys a heads up. All is not well in the labor market. If you see them big closing, that's how you connect the dots, right? Equity or Acuity, whatever the BPO name is, Intel, shut down. The BPO in Linden, I know they run and bring somebody because the shame. Right? The thing had already closed its doors, Nothing wasn't happening in Linden. The door didn't even open back. They just come out and say, oh, somebody taking over operations. You don't know the terms of the agreement or nothing. When you see all of that happening, what do you think happening here? Huh? Things flourishing? Things flourishing? Folks, let me get Jackie jacket. It was the APNU AFC government that worked day and night on the framework, local content, on the framework for the Natural Resource Fund, and so many other things. And it is that Natural Resource Fund that enables us to collect monies from the oil sector. So them boys come in and they had to do one thing. Then is when the money starts flowing. They had to do one thing. So when I hear them saying how much more roads they have built, more than the coalition, and the coalition had all money to more roads and more quality roads would have been built. GPL would have been in better shape, right? And we would not have been fooling our brothers and sisters in the sugar sector. We would not have been fooling them. So those are just a couple of the things we're watching at. Now we can take a turn. We can take a turn. You know? You wonder how some folks get gunned. Take a little turn at this point, you know. Some men drinking at a bar. This is the wild, wild west, you know. Wild, wild west of a country. People just dashing money in Gaisuko. In Gaisuko charity. No questions asked, just dash money. Companies that had their certification, accounting firms revoked, they audited oil. They audited oil revenue. How are citizens to behave? Two men got a little quarrel at this bar in Good Hope, I think it is. They got a little quarrel. Right? According to the report, yeah, Good Hope. Young people, 19 years old. In one instance, got a little quarrel. Right. Report said a man who was shot. His friend got scrambled by somebody as he stepped out of the bar to relieve himself. He went outside. Somebody scrambled him. And he pulled his friend away and shoved him in. Both of them went into a nearby car. And the man just whipped out a gun and fired at the vehicle, shattering the back window screen and the, what do you call that, the warhead struck the 19-year-old in the shoulder. That's wild, wild west. What if other occupants were in that car who had nothing to do with that altercation? What if had a baby in that car? They went in a vehicle, he just fired a shot. Now the police looking for him. He just fired a shot at the vehicle. Batai. You know how Guyanese we like with sound effects. Batai. Fired a shot at the vehicle like that. This is the wild, wild, wild west here, folks. Marcia Jackman, Dolly Anderson, JG, good morning to all of you. Wild West things we're talking about here now. Police looking for you now. And no sooner than that happened over the weekend, he had a boat mishap. This boat captain wasn't so lucky. The person shot in a stable condition, receiving medical attention. This boat in the Mazaruni, the captain wasn't so lucky. Right. This is one David and Williams. He's from Kangarama village. And this mishap involved, they say, a River Quest jet boat captained by one Odell Kosher, and a wooden boat which Williams, David and Williams, and James Mackenzie were passengers in the boat. Forgive me, passengers in the boat. And according to the reports, Kosher attempted to avoid the wooden boat by steering further aside, but the wooden boat suddenly veered into the jet boat's path, causing a collision that capsized the wooden boat. And both Williams and Mackenzie were pulled from the water, taken to Isano landing, where Williams was pronounced dead. He had injuries apparently to his face, and Mackenzie in turn sustained injuries to his leg and his back. Carnage on the roads and the waterways. So, shooting at a bar, mishap on the waters, and I can't let y'all out. Cyclist and truck. A cyclist collided with a truck in Ruponi. Tabachinga housing scheme, Central Ruponi in Region 9. So this cyclist was rushed to the hospital in an unconscious state after collision with a truck near the entrance of the Tabachinga housing scheme in Central Ruponi. This is Region 9. So the cyclist suffered severe injuries. And that's all we have in the report. Severe injuries. Report doesn't say who's wrong, who's at fault here, the truck, the cyclist. So that's just a snapshot of some of the things that happened over the weekend. And as we in the hinterland, this other story is in the Starbuck News today. Stephanie Miguel from Port Kaituma talks about the challenges there. A lot of young people being abused physically, sexually. And she said no help seems to be in sight. A lot of vulnerable children. She said there's a severe lack of social services. She personally documented over 20 cases of child abuse, sexual assault, youth suicide. She said nobody doing nothing. Children go to the authorities, nothing happens. And that's what Stephanie Miguel is reporting. It's currently happening in Port Kaituma. But we seem to be coming around to this mindset. Once you see something looking like a new road, everything good here, man. Here, for them taking care of business, everything already here. Once a bridge or a road looking little newish, them boys pass the test. Go to the front of the class. Miguel said she's been supporting vulnerable children informally for years. And by people know she has this kind of a heart, they come to her. So there's a lack of welfare officers in the region. There's a lack of effective mechanisms that people in need can approach, you know. So people have been reaching out to her. Children left traumatized by abuse. And then when they feel, you know, nobody's listening to them, nobody's hearing them, taking their own lives. What's going on in Port Kaituma? You see, we look at a lot of surface things. I think I saw Irfan there recently. We see a little flower and somebody's neck. Everything good, man. Everything good. Everything good in this country. Even by their own measure, everything is not good. Everything good with the Exxon third oil audit. Everything good at Albion. Everything good on the waterways and the road in this country. Everything is not good. So we hope that when them boys read Sabbath News, Sandra Boston, thank you. Thank you for your contribution, Sandra. When Jack Newell reads Sabbath News to go and views on Thursday, on the bottom house shop show, the corner shop show, that he address these issues as well. Right? Young is Monday. We'll be there. Monday. As you wrap up, folks, let me run you on through some of what people told Sabbath News. Cost of living, how we're treating them. You all learn about for the 5 minutes, everything we touch it. Death and despair, decadence in this country. And all this is in the media. No, we're not making up stuff. There's no manifesto. All of this is happening in real time. Right now in Port Kaituma, somebody under pressure. Albion Sugar Estate under pressure. Right now. Exxon third oil audit. Third audit under pressure. We are making up stuff. You can't make this stuff up. 101 weeks. 100 plus 1 weeks. Sabbath News has been at this. How the cost of living affecting you. Community after community. Anisha Gafar, 35. And he said the cost of living affecting my family and I. Because I have a shortage of items for my home. Cost of living affecting Annie. Then she goes on to talk about what she used to pay for goods and what she pay now. Emily Simon. Here Emily said, like most Guyanese, I trying with the cost of living, but the prices increasing in the market and supermarkets. I trying, but them prices, boy, them prices, it's not easy. Tiffany Macbeth, 24 years. 24 years old. Tiffany Macbeth. Tiffany said the cost of living, listen to this. Tiffany said the cost of living very tight. That's what she said. The cost of living very tight. She said, listen to Tiffany. Father of his mercies. Tiffany said the cost of living very tight. Because I can't even catch myself for months. Because items increasing higher every day. She said, I can't catch myself for months. Not for a day. Not for a day. For months I can't catch myself. And then you got Sharon Bagot, 37 years old, construction worker. See, everybody know the cost of living high. Right? You say whether they hire or not, I got work, try to maintain my family. That's most Guyanese. High or low, I got work. High or low, I got work. Peter Ramjan. Listen to Peter. He said the cost of living affected me terrible. The cost of living affected me terrible. Because vendors increasing their prices, items at the shopping markets. Right? He said whenever the government gives a cash grant, when it happens, the people are not benefiting. They're not benefiting because the price is going up. That's what Peter Ramjan says. Macbeth, things tight. Tight, tight, tight. That's what Macbeth says. Things tight. Folks, we're going to leave it there today. Till we see you guys on the next one. We are going to leave it there today. Pray for this country. Huh? You are folks of faith. UC Kingston. Pray for this country. Beatrice LB. Pray for this beautiful, wonderful, fantastic country for us. You heard people say things tight. Everett Small, Gwyneth Anderson, Sharon Griffith, Kurt Heineken, Brenda Moore, Sudhari Sukhchan. Pray for this country. Tight, tight, tight. Thanks for joining us this morning, folks. We're going to see you guys on the next one. On the next one, remember tomorrow. Right. Tomorrow we lending support. See you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic rest of the day. That's our time, folks. Stay well. Have a fantastic, big old fantastic.